So hey guys, I figured I would share some of my cosplay stuff with you. I don't know if it'll be boring or not, but you know, I want to share it, okay? So what I'm doing today is I'm making the symbol for my Aradia shirt and painting it on. Alright, as you can see I have the black shirt like on my sketchbook, like in between here. Because, you know, if you're going to be painting with acrylic paint like I am, you got to keep the front and the back separated so that it doesn't bleed through. I actually had a problem with that with one of the shirts that I did for somebody else, and while it wasn't noticeable, thank goodness, it can be a big problem. Now, the reason I am deciding to use acrylic paint rather than a transfer is because the symbol is literally so small I feel like I'm wasting a transfer. But acrylic paint, if you guys know or don't know, does not come off of clothing. So it is ideal to make the Homestuck Troll symbols with acrylic paint. And I have a little bit of apple red paint left over, which should suffice for Aradia's symbol. This is Aradia's shirt. I got it for $2 at a Goodwill. And what I did first was I took some tape and I deferred it because I have a cat, and you don't want hair on your surface when you do this. The next thing that I did was I printed out the symbol on a half sheet of paper. Again, because the symbol is so small, it doesn't take up the entirety of the shirt. Like if you look, it doesn't take up the entirety of the shirt. So I printed out on half of a piece of paper, and then I cut the symbol out so that I would have basically a stencil. So what I plan to do is line it up in the center and about where I'd want it on my shirt, and wherever the stencil is lined up is where I'm going to paint, and use the paint here to do that. So I just wanted to show you how I'm setting this up, and I will make the next video when I have it all lined up and ready to paint. Alright, see you then. Okay, here I am again, and I have it all set up. Basically what I do is I look at references of whichever character, in my case it's Aradia, see exactly where it lays on their shirt, and then I try to line that up the same way on my shirt. And I also make sure it's pretty dead center. See, like, you want to measure to make sure that on both sides here that it is the same size or about the same size. And you also want to make sure it's center, and how I check to see if it's center is the little tag or like the printout that's on the back that has like the size and the brand. I make sure it's dead center with that as well. You also want to see where this is going to lay on your chest. For me, it's going to probably lay right across my boobs, which isn't a huge deal because that's probably where it lays on her. So you want to make sure that you have it on the right spot on your chest again so that it doesn't look awkward. So you want to combine where the character has it combined with where you feel comfortable having it. And there you go. You have your stencil lined up and ready to be painted on. And the great thing about these stencils is if you take care of them, you can use them multiple times in case you need to make multiple shirts. So, my next step is to paint. I will show you what it looks like when it is done being painted, and yeah, that should be next. Alright, see you then. Hey again. As you can see, I have it about halfway done, not quite, and you can see what I'm doing here. The easiest way for me to use the paint is to pour it into the cap and then like sit it beside here. And you have to remember to hold the stencil down with your hands, because if not, you could slip around and you could either mess up your symbol or the paint could go underneath the symbol and then mess it up a little bit. And as you can see, the paint isn't 100% onto the shirt there. It's because acrylic paint is pretty thin, so you're going to have to probably use about 3 or 4 coats to get the symbol to be uniform. But I wanted to stop here and let you guys know that, just in case, you know, you wanted to hear some tips, I guess. So, I'm going to finish painting the symbol, and I'll tell you what I did when I'm done. Okay. See ya! Alright, so here's a symbol that is fully painted with the first coat. So I'm going to take this stencil off, and you'll get to see what it looks like underneath. Ta-da! pretty much perfect. Now there will be flaws, and if you're like me, you know you can easily fix those. And of course, like I said, you're going to need several coats to make it uniform and thick. For me, I don't use the stencil after the first coat. Hold on a minute, my cat. I don't want him to knock over the paint, so I'm trying to move him out of the way. My cat. Excuse me, Zan. You can't be up here right now. I'm sorry. I love you. But yes. So, he jumped back up. That's fine, as long as he stays off this mess. I would really recommend not having, if you have pets, don't let them in here. They might end up making a mess of your stuff. But yeah. The camera's making it look way more uniform than it is, but if you check, you know, there's like bits in it and stuff, so you're really going to want to do a couple of coats and stuff to make sure that it looks uniform. But as you can see, the stencil worked really well. It's right where it needs to be placed. It's the right size. So, yeah. And tips for actually cutting the stencil itself out. You will want to cut the symbol out, obviously, but you want to leave a little bit of white on the outside, like you want to cut more than just the symbol out, so that way it'll be a little bit thicker, so that way your symbol will show up a little bit more. So that's what I have to say about that for tips. That's what I did. This is my first time ever making a shirt, but I pretty much knew how to do it from, I guess, extra knowledge. I don't know. But yeah. So that is how I made my Aradia shirt, and I will show you the finished product hopefully soon. I'm going to paint a few more layers on it. Also, between layers, you're going to wait probably 10 to 15 minutes between layers to let the paint dry. Otherwise, you're just going to have a sopping mess. Because you want the paint to dry to where it turns into like a plastic, because that's what acrylic is. And then you can paint over top of it again. So, for me, I think the one time that I did this before for something else, not specifically for a Homestuck shirt, it took 3 coats. I'm assuming because this is a black shirt, it's probably going to take more. But we'll see. So, I hope that was helpful for those of you who want to paint your symbols on. And, you know, if you have any questions or anything that I might have missed, you can feel free to ask me. Alright, have a great day, guys. Goodbye. So, hey guys, it's a couple hours later and I wanted to give it time to dry, but here it is. You can't tell on the video, but the edges are a little fuzzy. See, like when you zoom in, you can kind of see. But from like a distance, it looks nearly perfect, so that's the finished product. I have a few adjustments I need to make to the shirt itself, but overall, it turned out beautifully. This took about 5 or 6 coats to become completely uniform and not have any black splotches or anything. So that's how long it took for me. And honestly, it didn't even like bleed through the back very much. See? Yeah. So, just wanted to show you the finished product, and I hope this was helpful or entertaining or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night. Bye.